We're following breaking news here at 7. Just a few hours after the not guilty verdict for the widow of the Pulse nightclub shooter, the jury foreman says she was definitely guilty of something. That foreman says the very same jurors who acquitted Noor Salman today felt she was guilty, just not of the very specific charges with which she was charged.
Here is part of the scathing statement. It says, quote, "Once I returned home and watched the news coverage of the reactions to the verdicts, I felt compelled to at least clarify several misconceptions. A verdict of not guilty did not mean that we thought Noor Salman was unaware of what Omar Mateen was planning to do. On the contrary, we were convinced she did know. She may not have known what day or what location, but she knew. However, we were not tasked with deciding if she was aware of a potential attack. The charges were aiding and abetting and obstruction of justice. I felt both the prosecution and the defense did an excellent job presenting their case. The bottom line is that based on the letter of the law and the detailed instructions provided by the court, we were presented with no option but to return a verdict of not guilty." CBS 4's Manuel Bojorquez has the rest of today's developments.
There were tears in the courtroom from Noor Salman and her family members as the verdict was read. Not guilty on the count of obstruction of justice and not guilty on the count of aiding and abetting Omar Mateen in the commission of the Pulse nightclub shooting that happened in June of 2016. The prosecution had told jurors throughout the trial that Noor Salman did know of an attack and that it would happen. They pointed to a statement she gave to the FBI in which she said that she was aware, but the defense said that statement was not in her writing, was not in her words, was written down by an FBI agent, and they felt that it was coerced, that she relented after hours of being interrogated by the FBI. So in the end, the jury here believed the defense, that there was enough doubt about her knowing what was going to happen that night. The jury handing down those not guilty verdicts here. Clearly, for Noor Salman and her family, there is relief. Her defense attorneys said after the verdict was read that her priority clearly is to head back home to California and reunite with her son. The prosecution said they respect the jury's verdict, but they are disappointed. And also, the sheriff of Orange County has said that although they do believe that the process was done here properly, as far as the trial, there will be disappointment for a lot of people, especially those relatives of the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Orlando.
And the defense and Noor Salman's family and supporters were quick to react to the acquittal. Here's some of what they had to say.
The government didn't deliver on its promises, and as we saw it, this was a case where the more we learned, the better Noor Salman looked.
We are so grateful to them, so grateful for their verdict today. The family is elated. Noor can go home now to her son, Zach, resume her life and try to pick up the pieces from 2 years in jail.
I said that day one, that she is innocent, and I will stand here in front of you when the jury come up with a verdict to tell you, I told you so, and now I came here to tell you, I told you so, she's innocent. When I believe she's innocent, she is innocent. We stood by her, and that's where she is.
Salman's family and attorneys also apologized to the victims and the victims' families. And